Aloha and welcome to New Paradigm Healing Academy Facebook group, MoonDaze, with me, Queen Mabsy, also known as Michelle Jericho Poplar of Queen Mabsy LLC. I am here to tell you about the astrology happening for us, not to us, programming our nervous systems through sixth dimensional awareness, which you will learn about if you sign up for our upcoming course. And to learn about that, you can book a discovery call with Candace Box, in which I will post the links in the description below. If you are watching later on YouTube, on my YouTube channel at Akashic Astrologer. Yes. So, my battery is running low. My beautiful tool is running low. So hang on one sec. I will pause this and I'm going to just plug in my computer, as of course it's running low because I had a long weekend, which was really fun, working at the Body Mind Spirit Expo with Viva Wellness and Acupuncture. It's a wellness clinic in Aiea on Oahu and Hawaii. So if you need in-person healings, acupuncture, chiropractic, massage, and Reiki energy healing by moi, you can find us there, and that description will also be in the links below if you're on YouTube, and if you're on the New Paradigm Healing Academy Facebook group, I will also share it there. So I can make this abbreviated because everybody's in a busy schedule, as Uranus has moved in to Gemini and is having some beautiful aspects, conjunctions with the magically in-depth outer planet that was only discovered in 2003 or 4, who has an 11,000 year orbit around our solar system. So she's way out there. Sedna, the Inuit goddess of the depths, of the deepest depths of the sea, is also in Gemini with planet Uranus. She represents all of the elements of the ocean, all the deepest parts of the sea, and the subconscious too. Represented the feminine archetypes that have been misused and abandoned, but then elevated into goddess status. So anyway, hang on, I gotta go get my phone charger. Just enjoy the wind chimes while I pop up. That's a good thing my lanai has a power outlet. Right then. Yes, I do rely on the technical tools to gift me this information, because I do planet Uranus, which rules technology, and my second house, which rules how I make money. Yay, power! Power Captain! By the way, speaking of technology, may the 4th be with you. Yes, today is Star Wars Day. If you're nerds like me and you love sci-fi movies, then today is one of your special holidays. As a kid, I loved Star Trek and Star Wars. Hi, Mom! We loved watching Star Trek The Next Generation because that was the 90s. That was the thing in the 90s. And one film that really made a huge impression on me it was probably about 1985 it came out. It was a Star Trek movie. So I know the Star Wars, Star Trek, but I love them both. There was a film, and you should watch it. Where the whole crew of the Enterprise had to go back in time to then present Earth, which was 1980s Earth, to rescue humpback whales. Because in the future, there were none. And look, I can get up and down thanks to Aviva Acupuncture and Wellness and all of the positive vibes that have been sent my way. Broken fibula, ha! It's still kind of healing, but at least thanks to acupuncture and positive energy, Reiki, I'm telling you, this stuff works. I am a living, walking testimony of I was not able to, I was on crutches literally a few weeks ago, and now I can move around. It's so magical. What the human body can do when you're energetically directing the healing, and also allowing yourself to feel, doing the practice, feeling the feelings, and allowing yourself to go into the lesson and learn the lesson instead of suppressing and repressing and denying it. Because when you suppress, repress, and deny the feeling that is there for you, because the pain is there to inform us of something that is out of alignment and needs to be put back into alignment. That's why we can't ignore it. We go into it and we ask it what it needs. And that's where the healing happens. And with the Uranus and Gemini energies, along with artificial intelligence and new aviation technologies, we will also see new ways, new technologies for in medicine, and also hopefully more studies on energy healing and how it works in the body. Because, well, we here in this space, you would not be here live with me or on this Facebook group, New Paradigm Healing Academy, or seeing me later on YouTube, if you weren't somewhat convinced that there's more to our third density body than meets our third density eye. as in we are multi-dimensional beings living in infinite possibility. So now, here we go, back in action. So that'll give me some time here to also go on the Facebook group here and tell everyone that I'm here live, because that's what needs to happen for people to know. We go here. Oh my goodness, it keeps trying to tag products. Yay. All right, then one of these days I'll get this, or I'm just gonna move completely onto YouTube. You're gonna have to find me over there because I'm getting a little tired of Meta. Just saying. Just a little annoying. I don't prefer it. I don't prefer it too much. This is like, you know, you put these tools on there, so why don't they work? There we go. All right. So let's get into the planets, shall we? So yes, this weekend was, I had a Reiki energy healing marathon. It was beautiful, made some lovely connections at the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo here in Honolulu, and I'd like to extend big mahalos to Melissa at Aviva for having me there, and all our other practitioners that worked. We're just such a fun team. I enjoy it so much. And so I'm also a Reiki energy healer, since my mother, who's on here right now, introduced me to that in 2005. And since I joined the New Paradigm Healing Academy programs, starting back when Candace was doing Soul Evolution, I up-leveled quite a bit with this energy healing. And now I'm able to facilitate a lot more clearing, and it still amazes me how much it transforms people. So, and I'm really grateful to have this. And as we move in through these chakra awakenings, as in new awarenesses, humanity is getting activated in our upper chakras, and a lot of folks are getting like migraines or other symptoms that they are going to their doctors for, and they don't really have proper explanations for why they're having these new sensations and challenges that are coming from experiencing these new galactic codes that are kind of rising both from the earth and also trickling down through the neutrinos and light particles that come from the sun. So we're being reprogrammed constantly all the time but the awareness of the programming, having the awareness of it, humanity, that's more of the new paradigm energies, which is why having community, Pluto in Aquarius, while things are transforming, is very key for humanity's thrival, moving from survival to thrival and evolving our frontal cortex, part of our brains, to have a faster response, as my friend Chelsea calls it. She's known as Seer by the Sea. She says, close the gap. And I'm like, yes, we need to close the gap of the learning process. And the practice helps you do that. And astrology helps us have some awareness of what programs are running and what is happening in the collective, so that way we aren't cosmically blindsided by unexpected energies. Now, with Uranus, we always expect the unexpected, but when you are expecting the unexpected, when the unexpected shows up, you're less surprised. So I've already talked for quite some time and told you nothing about the planets, but that's okay, because that's the line. Oh no, I have. I have. But anyway, so what we have going on for us in this month is some really fabulous developments that will shift and change more of the paradigms. Where we're at now, we just had that full moon in Scorpio last Friday. So that was on Beltane, or May 1st. And today we are on May 4th. Mercury has gone into Taurus to join the sun. So all of those ideas that you have dreamed up while Mercury was in Pisces and taken action on while Mercury was in Aries are now being made manifest. As of today, Moon Day, Mars, the planet Mars in Aries, still at home in his sign of Aries, fiery, action-oriented Aries, is in a hard, challenged aspect to Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. And Jupiter is currently at 19 degrees Cancer. That is what actions we take on our heart, which net to what we manifest. And because it's a square, Mars is also at 19 degrees. Chiron, the healer, is finishing up his long journey through Aries and will be moving into Taurus very soon. But as he's in the higher degrees of Aries, he is reprogramming what actions we take around healing our body. And then when he goes into Taurus, those things are going to be grounded in and made manifest. As Mars squares Jupiter, still hanging out with that stellium in Aries of Neptune, Saturn, and Chiron, Jupiter in Cancer says, whoa, wait a minute. are all these actions actually nurturing actions? Because if not, these aren't the paradigm. This is not new paradigm. So those things need to go away. So those actions that are not nurturing, Jupiter says, nope, not going to expand on those because we don't prefer those anymore. Then tomorrow, on Tuesday, and as of today, the moon is in Sagittarius. Fun Sagittarius. Had just crossed over Lilith. So if we faced anything kind of spooky or scary over yesterday and today, I know I was like, ooh, am I gonna be able to do all these healings? Like that was my moon in crossing Lilith yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I did it, because it was a fear or false evidence appearing real. And I was able to actually, I was like, oh yeah, hey, I do this, yes. And able to prove to myself by doing Aries, because it was in a trine harmonic aspect, the moon, to Mars, which is doing. So yay. And there's also Pluto. So Pluto tomorrow on Tuesday will be in a square aspect after Mars. Pluto will be in a square aspect to Mercury. So, transforming our thoughts. Mercury. Pluto transforms and Mercury is our thoughts. So on Tuesday, we transform our thoughts. And Wednesday, Pluto stations retrograde. Dun dun dun. Now, Pluto being an outer body planet, when it stalls in the sky, when a planet stations, what we call stations retrograde, meaning like the planet Earth is moving faster, and it appears to us that Pluto has just slowed down to a stall because of the way the sky is moving. So from our point of view, it looks like the collective transformation is kind of at a standstill. And we can see that in the news happening with the global situation, as like the outer planets kind of are world global changing bodies, because they take so long to go around the solar system. So their programs are longer running and they're a longer hum. And this, whatever points are in Aquarius, as Pluto is now at 5 degrees Aquarius. Again, 5 is thoughts. The thoughts of the collective, the thought programs of the collective. So it is interesting to me that Pluto squares Mercury, our thoughts, and then is at the degree of our thoughts. What old belief systems, thought patterns no longer serve as we evolve in the collective? What collective programs are we dissolving? Neptune in Aries at 3 degrees, which rules beliefs. 3 beliefs. Neptune at 3 beliefs around what actions we take, around the structures of our core belief systems. So all that will be coming up during the Pluto retrograde period. And I will talk more on the Pluto retrograde next week, because this will be a while, and this will be for an opportunity for the collective to look within and acknowledge a lot of the programs that we've been running don't actually belong to us. They were thought of hundreds of years ago, and they might not apply now. The moon will travel into Capricorn on Tuesday through Wednesday, pulling some harder aspects to our belief systems around our bodies and the structure of our bodies. On May 6th, Venus, as its journey has been speedily going through Gemini, already ahead at 15 degrees, will be in what we call an opposition to Lilith and Sagittarius. So if we come up with some irrational pull and feels around our values, around conflicted thought patterns on Wednesday, that would be why. And that is also when Pluto stations retrograde. On May 7th, the moon will move from Capricorn into Aquarius, meeting up with Pluto. So we will be feeling this retrograde very intensely, as the moon has part of this pre-programmed agenda to address our thought patterns. So again, use the practice. Who does this belong to? How is it for me? And where do I get this from? And do I believe it 100% to be true? I put the chickens out in our outside area. I put the chickens over there. They're in there. Yay! We have 2 little chicks. They're getting big and bigger. They're super cute. Okay, so on May 7th.
Where?
They're in there. See, Maneki's watching them. They needed to be outside. They're chickens. They can't be cooped up in a little box. We have them in a little Tupperware bin with like vents in it. That's super cute, but now they're getting big and they need space. They need a space. They need expansion. Jupiter in Cancer. Of course, we have lots of babies when we have Jupiter in Cancer. It's expanding.
What if they can't just leave them there?
No, they're just getting some outside time.
Can you put everything back when it's...
Yep. I'm kind of technically the grandma. She's the mommy. She's the mommy. I'm the grandma. I'm the tutu. On May 8th, the moon will still be in Aquarius. And we will still be working with that program of the Pluto retrograde through the weekend. The sun will be in a positive aspect to Jupiter in Cancer, as Jupiter will move ahead to the higher degrees of Cancer to 20 degrees. More of the mastery level of nurturing and caretaking. The message of all of this, again, is to nurture and caretake our bodies so that way we can manifest in alignment with the new paradigm that we are collectively forming, which is the new evolution of humans, which is looking like thrival, not survival. And if we are in survival, that is one reality that is dissolving away as we work together to move into more of what we prefer and less of what we don't. So be prepared for Pluto Retrograde, and I can tell you how long that's going to be right now. The Pluto Retrograde 2026 will be retrograde until about October 15th or 16th of 2026. So this is a marathon, not a race. So you're going to take this time, and wherever Aquarius is in your chart, Pluto will be reviewing the degrees from 5 to 3. 5 is our thoughts, 4 is where we belong, and 3 is our beliefs. So Pluto will be reprogramming the collective thoughts, belonging, and beliefs. Hi, Isaac! So this transformation, it's a little bit of like a cosmic review, as in Pluto's like, hey, did you learn what I taught you about reprogramming our thoughts, our belonging, and our beliefs? Let's review. So we get to have the opportunity as a collective to really seed in and gel in that transformation as we were in the goo of the cocoon of that transformative energy that is Pluto, and through May 6th and October 15th and 16th. So I am super interested at how this transit is going to show up for us in the collective and show up for us each as individuals. And if you want to know how the Pluto retrograde is going to affect you as an individual, I can tell you, you just need to give me your birth data and like book an appointment with me and we'll go over it, timing and everything. Yay! All right, I am going to bid you all adieu for today. Please watch the replay if it serves, and I love you all. Have a happy MoonDaze! Yay! Aloha!